If you want to master the 3D camera in your edits, then you need these tricks to take your work to the next level. By the end of this video, you'll be using it like a pro. And trust me, your edits will never look the same again. First things first, let's get our text into the scene. Add a text plus node to your workspace. In the inspector, I'll type our first phrase. Editing is not complicated. Customize your font. To get full control over every word, right-click in the text box and select Character Level Styling. Switch to the Modifiers tab. This is where the magic happens. I'll highlight the word complicated and change its font and size to make it really stand out. Simple, right? But we can also control the layout. Now, I'll highlight the other words. By adjusting the position controls under the Layout section, I can move this entire phrase down, creating a clean, stacked composition. So, with one tool, we've completely customized the look and the layout of our text, all within a single node. It's incredibly flexible. Okay, let's create a cool animated reveal. Add a background node. Connect the text plus node's output into the background node's output to merge them. I'll make the background color to a vibrant orange. Now, let's define the visible area with a mask. Here we begin to control the parts of the text that we intend to highlight. Then, I'll add another mask for the animation effect itself. With the first mask selected, I'll switch the paint mode to minimum. This makes only the parts we want visible, like creating a window through the text. Let's animate it. At the 1 second mark, I'll set a keyframe for the mask's position. Then, back at frame 0, I'll drag it left until the box is completely hidden. So I'll open the spline editor and smooth the motion. This makes the movement natural, fast at the start, then easing gently at the end, and there it is. Even with these few steps, we've taken plain text and turned it into something dynamic. Next, let's organize. I'll add an underlay to keep things neat. Rename it in the inspector by pressing F2. This step doesn't change the animation, but it keeps your workspace clean and easy to manage. Now we move into 3D space. For this, we need 3 nodes: Image Plane 3D, Camera 3D, and Renderer 3D. We'll connect them all to Media Out. At first, you'll see nothing in the viewer. That's because the camera and the text share the same 3D point. To fix this, you can either move the camera along the Z-axis or, as I'll do, adjust the text's Z position. Once it's visible, we can start the 3D animation. For animation, I'll use a Transform 3D node. You might wonder, why not just animate the camera? Here's the reason. If we use only one node, each animation has to finish before the next one starts. That can cause a small lag or jump between animations. By using multiple Transform 3D nodes, we can overlap animations. That way, the second animation begins before the first one finishes, giving us a smooth, continuous motion. Now let's start by a zoom-in animation. At frame 0, I'll bring the text closer to the camera by adjusting the Z position. Add a keyframe. At the 1 second mark, return the Z position to its original value. Open the spline editor and smooth the curve. This makes the animation start fast and slow down gracefully at the end. Now let's move on and create a flicker animation for our text. The first thing we need to do is select our Text Plus node. With it selected, head over to the Modifier tab. Inside this tab, you'll see a section for the text controls. Right-click on the text section, and from the menu, choose Follower. Once the follower is active, we need to adjust a couple of settings. Set the delay to 0.5 so that each letter follows with a slight stagger. Then, change the order to Completely Render. Now switch over to the Shading tab inside the follower. At the very first frame, set the opacity to 0 and add a keyframe. Then move forward 1 frame. Increase the opacity to 1. Move forward 1 more frame. Decrease the opacity to 0. Finally, move 1 more frame forward and bring the opacity back to 1. And just like that, our first animation is done. Next, the second zoom animation. Add another Transform 3D node. A few frames before the first animation ends, I'll add a keyframe. Then, at the 2 second mark, I'll push the text further back along Z. Spline editor again, smooth it out for consistent motion. Now, let's add the second text. Drop it into the workspace. Click the Image Plane 3D icon and merge it into the 3D scene. Start by typing your word in the Text Plus node. Press 1 on your keyboard to display it in the viewer, then head over to the inspector where you can begin customizing. Pick a different font, adjust the size, or tweak any other settings you like. Select the Image Plane 3D and increase its Z position to bring it closer to the camera. I'll make sure the middle of the letter P is centered in the screen. Time for the third animation. Add another Transform 3D node. A few frames before the last keyframe, set keyframes for the Z position, X position, and Z rotation. Then move to the 3-second mark. Here, pull the text back a little on the Z-axis, slide it slightly to the right on the X-axis, and add a bit of rotation. You'll notice we also need to adjust the Y position. So, add a keyframe for Y and change the Y value until the camera sits exactly where you want it. In the spline editor, I'll select all the keyframes, right-click, and choose Ease, then Cubic Ease. Now, drag the new text node into the workspace and add an Image Plane 3D. Connect it to the Merge 3D. As usual, type in your text, change the font, and customize it however you like. To match the angle of this text with the camera, go to the last Transform 3D, copy the Z rotation value, and paste it into the Z rotation of the Image Plane 3D. For easier positioning, select the Merge 3D, press 1 to view it, and then adjust the position of your new text directly in 3D space. It's much simpler this way. Now let's animate the text itself. Go first to frame 46 and select your text plus node, then right-click to the text section, choose Follower, and switch to the Modifier tab. Set delay to 0.5. Go to the Shading tab, reduce opacity to 0 and add a keyframe. Move a few frames forward, increase opacity back to 1. This creates a smooth, natural fade-in. To elevate your work to the next level, a crucial step is adding blur to create a sense of depth. One method is to use the camera's built-in features. To do this, select your camera and under its visible controls, apply the focal plane. A green box will appear to show you where the camera is focusing. After that, you must go to the Media Out node and activate the accumulation effect. While this creates a true depth of field, it is very demanding and can be too heavy for most PCs. Therefore, we will use a more performance-friendly alternative, the Gaussian blur effect. So, add the Gaussian blur node. For the first text, at the 1-second mark, add a blur keyframe and set its value to 0. A few frames later, as the camera moves, increase the blur value. At the frame where the camera will get closer, add another keyframe. Then, a few frames later, reduce the blur. We'll add a new Gaussian blur for the second text. But before we animate it, let's organize our workspace. Add an underlay for these two nodes, rename it, and change its color to keep everything clear. Now, go to the 2-second mark and set the blur value to 0, then add a keyframe. Move forward a couple of frames and increase the blur value. This technique effectively gives depth to your scene without slowing down your system. Now, let's add a background after the Render node. If it appears in front of the text, press Ctrl+T to swap inputs in the Merge node. I'll use a darker color here for this episode. For added style, let's overlay a grid. Create a background node first, then add a grid node. Without a background, the grid won't appear. I'll reduce the background alpha to 0, making the grid transparent. Adjust the grid size and soften the edges using a mask. Then, connect it to an Image Plane 3D and merge it with the other 3D nodes. Now the grid moves naturally with the camera. If nothing shows at first, it's because the background alpha is 0. Increase it slightly and it will appear. Scale the grid and move it behind all the text. After you've finished customizing your grid, let's add some effects to enhance your scene. First, before the Media Out node, add a Filter node. In the filter type, change it to Grain. Next, add a soft glow to make the scene pop. Finally, go to the Render node and enable Motion Blur. And that's it. Your scene is now complete. And do you like this style of sound, or do you prefer the previous one? Let me know in the comments. See you in the next episode.